God has a purpose for each person. We know that, right? And that purpose is to bring Him glory. So when you get married, you realize that God has a purpose for the other person, and there's a third entity. It's a couple. So it seems to us that God has a purpose and a design for marriages that say, your marriage is designed with the purpose to bring Him glory and to bring you joy. So when you find those two things together, I think a couple has found what is their spiritual purpose for marriage, and that is to bring God glory, to bring each other joy, and in that, it gives Him honor.
I think so often that we can get caught up with trying to find the specific purpose, God's specific will. What am I supposed to do in this specific position, Lord? And if you're having a hard time with that, the best place to start is start with what you do know concerning God's will and God's purpose for you. Like Chris was saying, in 1 Corinthians it says that whether you eat, whether you drink, whatever you do it all for God's glory. And then the second part of that, in glorifying God, the natural outcome of that is that we find joy in that. And in the purpose of marriage, you look at Ecclesiastes 9:9, where it says to enjoy the wife of your youth. Proverbs says, enjoy the wife of your youth. So as you bring God glory, the natural outcome is going to be that you enjoy each other and experience that joy that marriage was meant to be and the gift that God gives us. And then thirdly, and think about the purpose of marriage would be in Proverbs 27 with iron sharpening iron. Mm-hmm. We're to challenge each other, inspire each other spiritually, and spur each other on in terms of our own personal relationship with the Lord. And then that will play itself out in our marriage as a couple.
Yeah, and just imagine if you're able to do that in a way that for both of you, would do something very powerful in this world. It would become a testimony to a world that needs models. It would testify to a world that's hurting, and they would say to a couple that's doing this in a way that's sensing and knowing and seeking God and prayerfully seeking after God in this kind of innermost sanctified place of connection, then I think the world will say, I want to know what you have. What is this? Who occupies this marriage? What is there that's different? And I think the world needs models that can show a way to see that God is real. He inhabits this place. He loves us deeply. And when we prayerfully seek after Him, I believe He reveals Himself in deep and powerful ways that can be a wonderful testimony to a world that needs good models and good hope at the end. Hope that God is there and present.
It really brings to mind that verse that our relationship, let your light shine in such a way that they will see your good works and give glory to the Father. And if that's our ultimate purpose, is to bring God glory in this relationship, then your relationship is that incredible testimony to a hurting world of God's reconciling and redeeming love and His ability to take something that can be broken, that has been damaged, and He can do miracles in that, in bringing health and healing and joy.
Yeah, I think that's the hope, right? The hope that He is a redeeming God. He's a God that not only takes all of our pain, and as a couple, there are times in which there's conflict and worry and stress, and people say things that maybe they regret. And He is a God who forgives. And couples need to recognize that God meets them in these places. He is a God that knows us, cares for us deeply, and then desires us to know Him, walk with Him, and seek after Him together, individually and together as a couple.
For more information on resources for your marriage and relationships, visit cmr.biola.edu.